We get to talk about what is trending, and it's called decision fatigue. And boy, I've been there before. And I'm sure everybody who's breathing has been there before.
Yeah.
What is decision fatigue?
So decision fatigue is when you are overwhelmed by the fact that you've been making like multiple decisions, right? And you just get tired of doing that. Like there are just too many options, too many decisions to make, and it becomes very overwhelming for you. So something that should feel quote minor, right, actually ends up feeling like it's a huge task, like an emotional task, like very mentally and physically and psychologically like draining for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, what are the type of people that are most likely to experience decision fatigue?
Now I was thinking about this question, and I was thinking about those who are perfectionists, like wanting
Mm-hmm.
things to be a particular way, like having high expectations for themselves. I would say that those individuals are more susceptible because you have well, I have to make this decision. This is not something I can let go. Like it has to be done a particular type of way. If it's not, then somehow it's reflective on them as an individual. Like they see themselves in a negative light. So I would say those who are perfectionists and those who have very high expectations of themselves could be.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think maybe it has something to do with our culture. There's like millions of options.
Mm-hmm.
Like we can't even decide what to watch on Netflix. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
That's why I don't have TV. I don't have TV
good.
anymore. In my at my place, I'm like, enough. I can, go online and yeah.
Yeah, I've
So
been guilty in the past of spending about an hour trying to find something to watch and just
that's
giving up.
something I've done that before too.
It's
Because you get so
crazy.
tired by doing that.
Yeah, and I think it's just how our culture has just created these, millions of options to do, and it brings this decision fatigue. So, what advice would you give somebody who may be struggling with this?
Yeah. So I would say um, deciding, first of all, how important is this decision? Like, let me put it this way, what is the level of importance you're putting in
Hmm.
on this particular decision? I think in our minds, we feel like every decision is the same or holds the same weight. I think that's what I'm saying. It's like every decision holds the same weight, and that is not accurate. There are some decisions that are less weightier than others, and deciding whatever decision is that you need to make, is it something that is really life and death, like very, very, and very important that you have to exert so much energy into making? Or is it something that, hey, I could just not think so hard about that? Like it's not that detrimental or so super important to me. Um, so that's the first thing that kind of comes to mind, is determining the weight. The second thing I would say is handling your stress level
Hmm.
overall. Because when we are already stressed from our lives, we can, make decisions. It can feel very overwhelming to make decisions, right?
Hmm.
So how are you taking care of yourself? Like what is your self-care measures? I would say also running things by your friends. If you have a really good support system, maybe talk to them about, hey, do you think this is really that important for me to get caught up in? And just getting some reality feedback from other people could help you determine how you approach those decisions.
It seems like we always get back to that same idea of community, the
Mhm.
the groups of people that you're in. It seems like that it always goes back to that. I was reminded of back in the 90s we had those bracelets, the WWJDs.
Yes.
What would Jesus do?
Yes.
That, maybe looking at the word of God is what I'm about to do. Does it really have the eternal
Yeah.
weight to it?
That's good. That is
you
so
know?
good, Matthew. That is so
Yeah.
good. Yes. Yes.
And that
Love
that
it.
could really be a factor in helping us with this whole idea of our culture with this decision fatigue. And every day we're presented with it, you know?
Yeah. Because some things are distractions,
Hmm.
and then some things are relevant to the kingdom,
Yeah.
right? So like just determining in the grand scheme of things, is this really that relevant
Yeah.
to your identity and what God is calling you to do,
Hmm.
right? So yeah, I love that. I'm gonna take that one.
Free 99.
Yeah.
Yeah.